Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the zealots of Waffle House Company secured the island's southern peninsula of the Cutlass Keys. KOTT news crews were on the scene as the victors were coming off the field and spoke with the new ruling governor of Spyglass Ridge. Congratulations. Good job out there. In the final moments, tick, 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 you get it done, man. Care to take us through those final moments?
Oh, man, hectic. The army, we don't see a lot of fort fights, right? Because this is a learning army. And so getting to fort, you're trying to figure out where people are struggling on the fly. And they tightened it up. We had a couple DCs even, a couple healers that DC'd, and so everything's just like really stale in there. But then right down to the last minute, man, they fought like hell. Our guys fought like hell. And, we were able to put more people on point. It was a good war. It was a good war.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure you're looking forward to them running it back. But what I'm sure you're really looking forward to is harvesting the last remaining remnants of spice on the island.
Oh, yeah. We will not give up the spice, John. You know that. That's the secret ingredient for the waffles.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Was there anybody who stood out there tonight? Anybody really outstanding in their performance?
Yes, I am glad you asked. Actually, it's everybody that didn't make it into the war, John. We have an insane amount of active players right now, to the point where even if I slot a full 50, I still have 10 to 12 that are sitting on the bench. So decisions are getting harder and harder. And so we decided to go with 15 mercs for this war, so thank you, Outcast, for supplying the helping hand, because it seems that there's no roster on this server that owns land that is capable of slotting a full 50, because, that's just what the game is now, John. So, we did the same crap everyone else does, and there you go. But nonetheless, the beautiful part about it, John, is that it allowed for a great war on both sides, I think. I think it allowed for both rosters to experience all phases of the war, and I think that's a learning experience that everyone can take home with them.
Humble in victory, the Apostles of Waffle House Company then began their VOD review immediately on the steps of City Hall, in preparation of their next defense. Speaking of defense, the Syndicate out in full force in Everfall last night, as the race was a runaway affair. KOTT news crews were out in the field throughout the evening and could only find one light skirmish. There was some action later in Eden Grove. More on that in a moment. And speaking of more, for those of you anxious to challenge the authority of a great house in a region near you, be on the alert for 4 more races later on this evening. 2 more submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Tonight, the Syndicate members of JDB's Kitchen attack the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcasts for control of the recently settled region of Eden Grove. Rebuked in their last offensive against Outcasts, JDB send their armies into the Northern Grove, hoping to capture the temperate region and begin sowing seeds for a late spring harvest. Outcasts engaged in 2 encounters tonight, as they were when last these two met. But for this encounter to be fought to the same conclusion, will they have to yield elsewhere? Because meanwhile on the Mud Hill, the Syndicate members of Deathmarked Reincarnated assail the Zealots of Outcasts for control of the eastern archipelago of the Restless Shore. Deathmarked Reincarnated make their way to the bottom of the Mud Hill for the first time. But as a former great house, they know what it takes to get to the top. Outcasts have the numbers to fill 2 fights, and with the high ground advantage, may have the ability to turn away both of their assailants if their armies stay focused. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.